Welcome to Autonomous Conversations, the podcast leading up to the Governor's Symposium 2025. 15 years of constitutional autonomy, achievements, lessons, and prospects. Our goal is to inform, educate the public about Sint Maarten's constitutional history, its current status, and its prospects for the future. In the first couple of episodes of Autonomous Conversations, we had two guests, Mr. Dennis Richardson, who took us on a journey up until 10-10-10. Then we had Professor Gerard Hogers. Professor Hogers explained how the rules set the stage for autonomy within the kingdom. As promised, today we turn the microphone over to you, the people of Sint Maarten. We invite the voices from across the island to share what these 15 years of autonomy have meant. The responses were fewer than we expected. Nevertheless, they were very meaningful. That might tell us something about ourselves. We're good on radio programs and on social media, but putting things on paper, we're not that powerful at. That says something about our communication. Our oral communication maybe is more on the talking level and holding casual conversations, but not so much in documenting. Nevertheless, the voices that did come were valuable, and they deserve to be heard. In today's segment, we have Ms. Maria Chemont, a retired registered nurse, a civil servant for 35 years, who is well known in our community. And we also have Mr. Lindell Wilson, second vice president of the Youth Parliament of Sint Maarten. Welcome. We'll jump straight into it. One of the questions that we received states as follows. Autonomy has been both a source of pride and a test of resilience. But it must not just be a status. It must be a promise fulfilled for every citizen. This message, you can sense the emotion, also pride, and a sense of responsibility from this person just by reading this question. With that being said, Mr. Wilson, as a young person growing up here on this country, on Sint Maarten, what opportunities and challenges do you see for the future here?
I see myself creating opportunities, actually, creating a youth senate that actually would strengthen what we as youth do here on Sint Maarten in form of legal aspect. I see myself working in policy and politics towards representing our youth and creating safe spaces for youth and creating youth tourism spaces like a water park, youth center where they can have a music room, a dance room, a computer room, something better than our library that will be actually for the youth and youth working in there. So it's youths by youths.
So you see much potential for the youth of Sint Maarten moving forward?
Yes, I do.
Of course, with your input.
Yes.
Our second submission was via WhatsApp, and it reads as follows. We, the population, have failed this island. Only a strong leader who can fight corruption will bring stability. When you hear this kind of question, you get a sense that we feel that there's not enough or strong leadership on the island. And I turn the mic to you now, Ms. Maria. When you look back 15 years, starting from 10-10-10 to today, do you think we remain the same? Did you see improvement? Or do you think there's little hope?
There is hope, I must say, because we should never be a people that has lost all hope in our the leadership of country Sint Maarten. However, if to looking back at the 15 years, what have we actually accomplished that we can be proud of? Many changes of governments, many confusion that have our youth even so confused and very much discouraged those that are abroad studying to return to this island because it seems to them as what is actually happening here with our leadership. Where are we going? Am I going to be wasting my time, wasting my studies? What's going on? So in terms like this, I would say that our leadership presently needs to focus on that and bring about the changes that we have missed, because 15 years has already passed and we cannot really undo the damage that has been done to this beautiful island, Sint Maarten, that we call country Sint Maarten. We need to prove to our people that it is a country with status and one that our youth can look up to when it comes to being role models within our society. I'll leave it there for now.
So I guess I think it would be fair to say you believe that leadership is an issue.
It is.
Our third submission was via WhatsApp as well, and the excerpt reads as follows. From the friendly island to the greedy island, how can one person survive on 1,000 when rent alone is 800? Now that's sinking. Ms. Chemont, again I come to you. What challenges you see for the people of Sint Maarten that we have experienced since 1010?
In the first place, when it comes to rent, high rents, there should be some sort of a regulation where rents are concerned, because people tend to, in my opinion, become rich via the rent overnight. And with that, those that are that has the minimum wage, for instance, are the ones that are going to be suffering because you cannot afford the rent. So to protect our people, there should be rental regulations. There should be some sort of inspection, because again, this is what would lead us down the road of disaster. Why? People rent your place for 2 months. They come up with the down payment that they save over a period of time. And then at the end of the day, the following, after 3 months, they cannot meet their rent. Yes? This is where people tend to practice bad habits. They get themselves involved into things or into corruption where they to get the rent or to live up to a certain standard or to pay their rent. In other words, they fall into some strange behaviors that destroys the face of this community. And I think that, again, this is where we talk about the morals and values within our community that can help to prevent, talk to our youth, educate our youth that it is by hard work, hard labor. That person that you are probably looking at today is probably a person that have worked over 30, 40 years to save, to enjoy their life, and that of their children can enjoy the life that they have built for them, while we are busy on the outside looking in and wanting to beat that person. I believe in what I was taught: be always yourself. Don't look at the bird that is flying. You don't know who wings he has borrowed. And this is something that should be stated and taught to our children within the community if we want a better society in Sint Maarten.
Right, Ms. Wilson. So you believe that indeed that the cost of living is much higher than...
It is much higher than one can afford, but again, it's like something has to be done, and it takes leadership to organize and put... A matter of fact, these things are in place. It's just that they are not regulated.
I will say that.
And they're not enforced. That's the correct word, enforced.
Okay. Enforce.
Yes.
So with that being said, what do you think the leaders should do to fix this situation, to remedy the situation that we currently are faced with?
Take a good look and remain focused on what, as a leader, what are your desires for country Sint Maarten? What would you, as a leader, like to see? And how would you go about it? So it have to start somewhere. And they need to really sit down and have a good look. Because we would travel, our leaders will travel and go to different countries, attend different meetings, and come back. And if you ask them, oh, it was good. But have you brought something to educate our people and even help us to get a different mindset on how we go about business daily that can help move Sint Maarten positively forward? What is happening here with poor leadership? We are breaking the morale of our youth. And this is something, our youth is vital for continuation of progress. And if we break their morale and they lose it, how do we regain it? It's difficult to regain that. Once you broke a man's strength, it's difficult. You got to pep him up a whole lot, and it takes a lot. And our leaders, they need to take charge. They need to focus, not lip promises, but work, action.
Mr. Wilson, I see you constantly shaking your head. Are you in agreement with what Ms. Maria just mentioned?
I am in agreement with what she said, and I believe our youth can strive when our leaders get them mentally prepared for the future of education, in terms of getting our education system in line with the Netherlands education system. Because the distance between the Sint Maarten PKL and VMBO to the Netherlands VWO and MBO and HBO programs, it's quite huge, and our students have to jump through a lot of hoops in order to get where they need to get. Even here locally, our students need to step, because there's a word in Sint Maarten. It's, everybody knows it. You're either underqualified, and then when you go away to study, you're overqualified. And then when they work in Sint Maarten, they make $400. They don't even make the minimum wage. And that's the current problem. If I want my leaders to fix something, I want them to fix the minimum wage and make it more higher, and I want them to eliminate bi-weekly payments. I wanted to make it so our people can actually survive in Sint Maarten by being able to afford to pay GB, tell them to pay food for the groceries, to pay for the rent. I want them to be able to build a future not for only themselves, but their family for the future.
We also received a submission from the Sint Maarten United Ministerial Foundation. And the statement goes as follows. For us, autonomy has meant greater responsibility. We're not just paying for change, we're part of it. Our hope is unity, trust, and renewal. Ms. Chemont, it's questions for both Ms. Chemont and Mr. Wilson. If you could describe your dream future for Sint Maarten in one sentence, that's kind of difficult, but try. I know. What would it be?
It will be that each and every one of us, as citizens of this country, Sint Maarten, be able to enjoy the progress as such. Each and every one of us, no one should be left behind.
I agree, and my idea of a future Sint Maarten is the friendly promise, a promise that everyone who lives on this beautiful island is not discriminated on based on where they come from, but equally joined together in the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of progress for our nation, and the pursuit of becoming a better person and a better community for not only themselves, but their entire family.
Thank you. Ms. Chemont and Mr. Wilson, I thank you so much for your candid expression and expressing your feelings and your true feelings of the island and the journey that brought us to where we're at today. This is just the beginning. We're far from the end, and I hope you both will continue to contribute to helping Sint Maarten become the country it is deserved and desired to be.
Thank you very much, and indeed well said.
Thank you very much.
From the submissions and the conversation we just had with Mr. Wilson and Ms. Chemont, we can sense the frustration, the pride, and the hope that we have for country Sint Maarten. Our autonomy isn't a single story. It's many stories, each one shaped by the person living it. The voices we have received may have been few, but they remind us of something important, our democracy. Our democracy is stronger when everyone takes part, not just in conversations, on radio and social media, but in discussions and in decisions that shape our island's future. The next 15 years of autonomy should not be written by leaders and by laws alone. It should be written by you, the voice of the nation. So keep speaking, keep listening, keep shaping the story of Sint Maarten together. This has been our third podcast, Autonomous Conversations. We love you to be part of the Governor Symposium 2025. You can follow it live on the Governor of St. Maarten's official Facebook and YouTube page. Tune in, listen to the speakers, join the conversations, and reflect with us on 15 years of constitutional autonomy, celebrating achievements, learning from the past, and looking ahead to what's next.